When I was 10 years old, my school sent off the entire fifth grade class to a random campground in the middle of Ohio where we had to participate in a real life simulation of the Underground Railroad. And we had to pretend like we were runaway slaves. This is a true story. Now, up until recently, I thought that this was an experience that all 50 states across the US provided, but turns out it's only a select few schools in Ohio that experienced this. I remember we were in fifth grade, so this was something that we were excited for. We were looking forward to this experience because the grades above us really hyped it up. Like, they made it be like this big thing. Like, we were like, oh my gosh, we get to do the Underground Railroad this year. Like, we were hype. So they sent us off to this random camp called Camp Camel Guard in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. And on the first evening, it was time to participate in the Underground Railroad. In my memory, we started off the Underground Railroad with a auction simulation where we were all blindfolded as slaves and we were auctioned off. And there were adults picking and choosing between who was worth more and who was worth less between the students. And we're all blindfolded. So we really don't know what's going on. And this was a real life simulation, as in like the adults and like the masters and the slave owners had real life whips and axes and weapons and guns. The guns were probably props, but they made it as real life as they could. Like, they seriously got as close to the line of like child as they could. If you were caught smiling, laughing, or not taking it seriously, they told you to put your face in the mud. Seriously, I had to put my face in the mud and count to 10. I remember it started raining that night and they didn't stop the simulation. We just had to do it in the rain. And we had to learn slave songs. Correct me if that's the wrong term, but we had to learn and memorize 2 or 3 slave songs leading up to the camp so that we could sing them during the simulation. One of the songs was called Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. That's like the one that I remember like to this day. Some of my most vivid memories of this experience includes when me and 2 of my friends were caught kind of like smiling, not smiling, but just kind of like not really taking it serious. And we were caught by one of the slave masters or one of the guards. And we were forced to put our face in the mud, and the rest of the group left us. He was like, the rest of the group, you guys can go. These 3, you stay with your faces in the mud. And we sat there for like a good 30 seconds and we got lost because the rest of the group just went off. As our faces were down in the mud, he had this axe and he was like throwing it in the ground, like in front of our faces and like at our feet. And it felt real. I mean, I was 10. I remember also we had to go from like location to location, like house to house. You know, the Underground Railroad was made up of just houses where people were assisting runaway slaves to get to freedom. History lesson. And so I remember we had to knock on this door of this house, and it was like this sweet old lady that answered the door, and she was like, oh, like, what are you guys here to do? And we like had to sing the slave songs to her and pretend to be like a church choir or something. And she was like, runaway slaves, like, go up to the attic and go behind the secret wall in the house. So we did that. And it was just a group of us kids hiding in the attic, and we were scared for our life in this random house. And out of nowhere, we hear a knock on the front door of the house. And the old lady answers the door, and it's like it's a slave guard. It's like a master or something. And he was like, hey, we're looking for some runaway slaves. Are you housing them? And the lady was like, no, there's no slaves here. He shot her. Sorry, can I say that on here? He shot her. Like, obviously it was pretend, it was fake, and we were just like, what's going on? And I forget all the details of how we ended up escaping that house, but we made it to the next location. And there's more to this. But by the end of it, we all sat down in a circle, and the camp counselors were like, so what did we learn from this experience? What? I remember thinking,